promising promises at a under-promising, over-delivering level, let's guesstimate what we're to deliver in a Sunday video, guessing what we're attempting to live off of when it comes to momentum and delivering on jokes, delivering on being able to hang out where we get better video to video. What we're doing right now is an example of the distracted brain. Are we able to do two things at one time? An example of your brain psychologically operated against you, where we don't exert control over executing one thing well, which is us hanging out during Sunday Fun Day, recapping some thoughts that went well, and then summarizing other concepts that went super well. Two girls, one cup of knowledge. Two books, one guy. Two thoughts simultaneously in your head while we excuse ourselves for getting temporarily distracted. Yoga teacher Larry helping you wrangle your brain back to being focused on one thing, which is what yoga practice is. You see, our YouTube live practice, our live video practice, it's not a perfection, it's a practice. Our YouTube live is not a perfect execution every time. We forgive ourselves when we do an average job. Sometimes when we are doing well, we don't get overconfident by saying most valuable video ever. What makes the video sometimes, depending on your perspective, the most valuable video ever, it's due to, was something said that caused you to think, I can do that, I can try that? Did you learn something or get catalyzed into, hey, this is my weekend, this is a fun day, this is how this day could be a beginning to a sequence of days? Could this day that we're learning, playing, and experiencing turn into a springboard where we load on a day and then explode on a day? Which is a challenge because doing two things at one time, not two streams at one time, we've aced that before. Turbo hike, where when we focus on just doing the one thing, We don't have 11 chefs in the kitchen of our mind. When we focus on the one thing, we don't have a fake personality talking to a real effort, talking to ourselves from a live time dialogue inside our head. The solution for these things, also on a Sunday, would be to comfortably write out and journal what we're talking about. This is Sunday, fun day. I'll catch you up. You see, instead of having thoughts that are never in a quiet room, forget about thoughts where you constantly have sound playing in the background or constantly music. Being able to quiet the noise, quieting the self criticism, quieting our brain. Why? Because Sunday Fun Day, we can experience day to day. Sunday Fun Day is for moments of your day. Every day, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to this content. It is, can you journal your YouTube practice? Can you log and emotionally transfer to paper what thoughts you had on a semi daily basis? We're doing this because Sunday Fun Day is a popular time to journal. Why? Because it's getting ready for your upcoming week. It's then also recapping your weekend while we increase our awareness for YouTube video experiencing. We increase our awareness for YouTube video logging. You see, by default, there's going to be a playlist, a summary, a methodology for us to archaeologically dive into. Hey, this is what I thought about on November 16th. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I see the 1, 2, 3 at the end. Buddy, buddy, there's there's somebody important. Enjoy your time out. Come back better when you're a little bit more positive on Sunday Fun Day. Sunday Fun Day, hashtag winning, which is also this. By thinking to yourself, hey, let's try to pee in somebody's pasta bowl. That's gross, and I'm sorry that weird stuff happened to you when you were a kid. We are better after our timeout, aren't we? We are better after our timeout, aren't we? We are better after our timeout, aren't we? We are better. We're better after our timeout. Let's see if we can become even better after your timeout. Let's see if we can be even better. I got a feeling it's going to be amazing, which is turning around this YouTube live as I turn around your attitude, your pretty good attitude, because you're playful and your EQ is high enough where you didn't get completely demoralized after you tried to take me down and then I showed you who the daddy is. I showed you because you're thinking, buddy, there's nobody watching you. Are you talking to nobody? Are you talking to your imaginary friend? So, what you're showing me in that pre 2 timeouts timed out ago is one, you're deathly afraid of a monologue, not my monologue. You're deathly afraid of being judged. Two, you're transferring to me emotional issues that you have, which is, hey, are you talking to nobody? Are you talking to your imaginary friend? Because this video is coming to all of us from a perspective of light and positivity. But when you try to find shortcomings in yourself that then attempt to transfer over to me, we're doing a turnaround, asking good questions, which is questions. Why are you this way? Have you always been this way? Questions. Did something traumatic happen to you when you were a kid? Questions. Have you ever turned around a project? Have you ever turned around a company? Have you ever turned around a negative attitude that caused you to say, hey, dropping out of community college, that may not be the best idea for me. Hey, dropping out of a program, that might have ramifications. Or just going ahead and rage quitting. You see, during Sunday Fun Day, the bullet point number 3 is, can you turn around a shithole? Which is, can you turn around a place that dogs poo at? Because certain dog parks, they're not exactly perfectly groomed dog parks. They're hoping for regular maintenance, but nobody really ever does it. When you clean a dog park that your dog doesn't even visit, what happens? It's karmically building, and it makes you realize no matter what happened this weekend, you made some dog's life better, where the dog doesn't have to step in fecal matter belonging to another dog. Let's say that's a little extreme. Something that is not extreme but is extremely impactful is this: going to a parking lot near a dumpster and picking up trash in and around the dumpster. Why? Because when we turn around a parking lot and we pick up 3 pieces of trash, what we're able to turn around is the before picture and the after picture. Where before I met you, K-Jin, before I met you, you were dropping 3 words that you didn't think would get read. What we're doing is we're turning around this YouTube Live by holding ourselves to a higher level, come back better after your timeout. Because accountability and before and after. Before, the parking lot had 18 pieces of trash. You, on Sunday Fun Day, you picked up 3 pieces of trash, none of them belonging to you. Then what happens? Then what happens is this. You took it from 17 pieces of trash to 14 pieces of trash because you picked up 3 pieces of trash. Now, you might be trying to talk to the parking lot and say something like, yo, do you want to make some money? Or, yo, look, bro, I was just kidding when I was being a jerk before, aka a cunt. Do you want some money or not? Enjoy your time out. Enjoy your time out. Enjoy your time out. Since you are such a terrifically awesome guest, it'll be greeting you. Hey, Lily, how are you? Welcome. We are talking about Sunday Fun Day doing community service for 4 minutes in an entire weekend. What? Are you kidding me? Is it Albin? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Albin Stevens? What's up? Why can I not pin your message? How are you? Is it Elaine or Albin? Albin, how are you? Community service for 6 minutes? Oh, 6 minutes is too long. Let's do it for 3 minutes. What? How can you do community service? I almost said customer service. Could you tell? How are we going to be able to do customer service for 3 minutes or 6 minutes? This is how. In a parking lot, sometimes there's 17 pieces of trash. We're not going to take a before and after picture because we don't want to do it for 4 minutes. But let's say we do. Before we picked up trash, the parking lot had 8 pieces of trash. We pick up 3 of them. We pick up 3 of them. We pick up 3 of them. And then what happens after we pick up 3 of them? Now there's only 8 pieces of trash. Now there's only 8 pieces of trash. You like how that math works? Enjoy your time out. Come back better. DD says, Larry, thank you for all your time that you've taken to put these videos together. Wow. You're welcome. And I'm happy that we're able to kind of have a chill time during Sunday Fun Day community service for less than 5 minutes per weekend or per month. Why are we only doing a single digit number of minutes? What the actual F, Larry? Let's at least do it for 2 hours. No, 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 no. This is why. You see, in the same way that I'm cleaning the trash of this room while not being desperate to reach a level. Why? You see, when you're desperate, people try to take advantage of you. When you're hungry and starved and trying to execute something, people try to take advantage of you. I didn't screenshot the content, but buddy, there's nobody watching you. Why are you talking to nobody? Question mark. Are you talking to your imaginary friend? 4 messages later and 2 timeouts later, look, I was joking. Do you want to make some money or not? What that is a abuser looking to bully while dangling a carrot, while telling me, hey, I've never come across your videos before. I'm going to victimize everything possible. I'm going to victimize everything possible. Sunday Fun Day, negatives and positives. Positives. We did a segment called 2 Girls, 1 Cup of Knowledge. That went okay. DD, what did you think of that segment? Two girls, 1 cup of knowledge. Cool story, bro. Cool story. Let's talk about your 24 sentences. Timed in perfectly to Julian. What's up, VP? Great to see you back. VP, what is good? Rish the Fish, I like your hat. Hat game on point. JB, we are talking about 24 sentences within the construct of doing customer service. I keep saying customer service, doing community service. What community service are we doing, Larry? This sounds like it's going to be amazing. I probably spent more time talking about it than I spent doing it, which is this. A big trash bag that isn't a trash bag, it's a big bag of food, but the people have no longer eaten the food. Now there's trash. The food bag doubles as your trash bag. Picking up 3 pieces of trash has a healing component to our soul, because we're in a parking lot and let's say there's only one large bag with maybe 14 pieces of trash total in a 1 mile parking lot. If we just pick up 3 pieces of trash, the delta that we feel is markedly better. And then sometimes we forget to take a picture where the before and after. Why? Because people love the before, people love the after. VP says, your hat is good, Larry. Thank you. Wearing a hat indoors is just so whimsical. Oh, it sure is. Because it's a fashionable statement. But what also the hat does is it doubles for functionality, because this is a sunset video. Normally it's a sunrise video. What's rising and falling is our attention to turning around a parking lot as we turn around a publicly traded corporation, as we turn around one of the attendees of this room, which would be Julian. You see, Julian did something significant. What did he do? Julian decided to take action on 2 girls, 1 cup of knowledge. Because, and this might make me the most gullible person in the world, but I believed him when he said, OMG, I did a date, 1 girl, 1 book. That date was amazing. And then he further told me stories of, oh, I have 6 females that are cold opening me or messaging me. Cool story again, bro. This is the Sunday Fun Day component of this, which is hilarious on 3 levels. Level 1, being able to write 8 sentences. Oh, this is what I heard, 2 girls, 1 book. This is then the next 8 sentences, which is, I didn't have a date idea. This is what I attempted to try to make better, which is my dating approach. I brought a book. And then the next 8 sentences are, hey, I think that this could be a new franchise for me, which is 2 girls, 1 cup of knowledge as a joke franchise. Why? Because we're having a good time. It's Sunday Fun Day. Why? Because I can't help but want to do stuff that's entrepreneurial, because it changes people's lives because it gets you to do little things. 26 days of Gemini 3 ducking BK. Oh my God, Larry, did you just change it? Oh, yeah. You see, I've been reading my YouTube spam advertising, and OMG, that spam isn't fake advertising, it's real. Have you seen in your feed Google Gemini trying to give you $275,000 in credits? Credits? Why would you delete that? Because, yeah, it's supposed to. But also, where are those 24 sentences? Have you been lying? I'm sorry that I got lied to, which is color me the most gullible person in the world, which is Gemini Google offering a 275K credit. This is hashtag 26 days of Gemini 3 ducking BK. You know, it's crazy that could work in the future. What everybody is disconnected in AI is taking over. AI can't even take over a lunchbox, let alone take over the planet. What actually is more likely to happen, since we are Sunday funding in jokes, is humans could drop in intelligence because I see it dropping like a rock, which is default robot like behavior, default NPC, default phones breaking people's brains. This is number two, which is YouTube runs on Gemini 3, being able to transcribe this video. Although this video is just a fart around, let's hang out, let's just chill. But prior videos, throwing them into Gemini 3, chef's kiss. Micro, macro, perfectly on cue on the script with, you know what's crazy? That could work in the future. What everybody's disconnected and AI taking over. So, what your brain is trying to do is you're trying to live in the future solving macroeconomic problems where the focus of us is, can you do a turnaround of yourself in the present where you said things that are okay, but they're putting your brain in a pretzel in the same way that the first email that you sent me were 200, 300 characters in the subject line, where you just put all of the entire message in the subject line, no body. And that was similar to how I was setting up this video, where I was doing two things at one time. The reason that these videos work well is that I'm doing one thing at a time at a very small level, grinding through, micro, no macro, micro. So this is all the value of this video. This video is not meant to be super valuable, but here is all the value in one concise nugget. Sunday fun day. It's too much macro, not enough micro. This is when your timeline begins to eat at your brain, where none of it's actionable, a lot of it's demoralizing. Why? Because when attention is difficult to come by, media feeds, timeline feeds become attention seeking. And this is why if you corral your social media usage time down, you get mentally slightly better. But while I'm saying less social media, I'm saying less Web 2, more Web 12. What is Web 12? It's using your invested time, prior invested, current invested time, and you're turning into something that's beneficial to you. Do you remember before with the parking lot where picking up 3 pieces of trash literally does change the world, whereas other people are trying to bring world peace, make your, niece or nephew the most important human to ever walk the planet. Moonshot, moonshot, moonshot. Where what if you just solved the problem of Apple ripped you off, you signed up for Verizon, Apple ripped you off by selling you a new phone, and then you turn in your old phone because you get a $300 credit, and your old phone was talked about as being such good condition, whereas you probably should have kept your old phone, and instead of spending over $1,000 on an iPhone 17, purchased a used phone for 60% off with 98 to 99% of the functionality of an iPhone 17. But not feeling bad that you got ripped off for 1,500 bucks, which is because you're blue pill, you believed the Verizon advertising. Instead, asking yourself the micro question while you're holding your phone, hey, Verizon Apple ripped me off to the tune of $1,000, dare I say $1,500. Asking yourself twice a day, how do I make $1,500 back using Web 12? Let me repeat that because that's what I'm saying within less macro, more micro. Luke YT, what's up? I first met you on a Saturday. On a Saturday, I want to say March for Psycho Saturdays. How is church and stuff? The sky is up. What? My God, you are Christian. That is so Christian humor. Am I misremembering who you are? It doesn't matter. I make mistakes all the time. I never do. Do you feel special now? Are you going to leave in 6 minutes? Because that's about your attention span. What we're doing is macro micro. You're coming in, Luke, at a perfect time, which is the value of this video, Sunday Fun Day, is less time on macro, more time on micro. You see, the effect of what happens when the central government prints a lot of money is we're all forced to be macroeconomic, economic conditions news forecasters. Let's whittle down our wasted time with macroeconomic portfolio management questions. Why? Because we can focus more on Web 4, which is micro, which is, hey, Verizon and Apple, they teamed up to steal 1,500 bucks from you. You should have just taken 60 some percent off and bought a used phone on Amazon. But, whatever. What have you done with my friend Luke? I feel like you're going to be better after you come back from your timeout. Macro, micro, where we're inundated with a timeline of news that is meant to psychologically operate against us. Because of that, we're doing this, which is Sunday Fun Day, hanging out, which is why we're also doing this, which is, can we get a succinct return and measurable return on invested time of YouTube video? This is where if we can just get positive on one YouTube video, now we become limitless. Now we become in flow. Psychological operations. No one's going to wrangle your brain to psychologically operate it for it to operate better. Why? Because that doesn't take attention, that spends your attention on them to your attention on Web 0, which is your pen to paper. Where is your map? Are you operating with a map? Do you think that Dungeons and Dragons is nerdy? You see, there's no better micro specific map than you mapping out, hey, it's Sunday. This is what I plan on doing for the week. On Thursday, I'm going to do hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Thursday, the 20th. When you connect day 5 to day 20, the media is going to say, wow, your brain, it's super succinct. I can't believe you're connecting that to June 18, 2026. Why? Because psychologically operation, your phone, it's not so smart. It's really just breaking your brain. So when we have that dynamic, what happens? We can have an opportunity to get slightly better, or we have our brain psychologically operated against MK Ultra degree uncertain, which is CIA mind control, which Tristan Harris wrote a book on, which is the addictive nature of algorithms, formula mapping. When we have an algorithm that's working for us, yet also against us, we can come up with our own formula where we decide, hey, I can't believe that Web 12 is free. What is Web 12? It's Web 0, which is pen to paper. It's Web 4, which is mining fiat, which is a cryptocurrency way of saying making money. And because it's Sunday and it's a Sunday, the concept of 4 minutes, 3 minutes of community service. I almost did it again by saying 4 minutes of customer service. I must really want to do customer service because maybe I have a customer service mindset for today being Sunday Fun Day. Recapping another highlight. If this is your not first video, tell me in the comments one of your highlights. So the algorithm is based on CIA mind control. So that's a macro question. All the algorithm is doing is telling you, hey, more micro, Julian Berney, more micro, fewer macro questions. Because oftentimes where you talk or comment, text message, or email, it's all general macro. Like that email that you sent that was all in the subject line, that was general macro. And what we're doing here is programming our own brain. Oh my God, this video is actually decent, which is that's what we're doing with the formula is we're trying to program our own brain. And I'm not saying we're repairing our brain, but do you see how like that's healthy where we write down little fortune cookie sized messages, which is less macro, more micro. And right out of the chute, you did a macro question, which is what does the government try to do to control our brain? Well, when you ask that question, you're going to get a macro answer from your macro big picture question. So, what I hypothesize is going on, which it feels like I've got a really good finger on the pulse for, is this is the psychological operation of distracting citizens from improving in self-improvement. There's another dynamic which I want to tiptoe into, but it's hilarious, which is trying to psychologically operate this operation, which is dividing men from women. I don't want to talk about vagina whisperer stuff where I'm seemingly talking trash about connecting to women. But it's all over my timeline, constantly pounded, which is, are you a disgruntled male? This is why you should be angry at females. Ditto female content, which I see on their phone, which is, are you a disgruntled female? How are men to blame? So when I see this, I'm thinking that's a macro psychological operation to fester emotions to make you beleaguered. There's this uniquely female condition, which is adrenal failure, is it? Where you're so adrenal dopamined up that your brain gets super tired. I think they call it adrenal failure, where I've only heard of women getting this. I've only heard of women getting this. Maybe I have a small sample size. My sample size is not small. From my skewed data collection, it's only women that get it. And that is this: women's porn is social media, men's porn is porn. And when your brain is broken on porn, I don't think women try to download porn, the same kind of porn that men consume. And I know that that's hilarious and spot on. I know that that's completely accurate because social media is porn for women. Ditto romance novels. Morning Glory, Milking Farm. Julian chiming in with another good comment, I'm sure. Distracting citizens so they don't improve. Exactly. Trying to psychologically dividing men from women. It's definitely happening. But why? This is what happens before the money dies every time. Weimar Germany, 2020s, 1920s, 1820s, 1720s, and I'm probably going to guess the 1620s with the Netherlands. This time it's going to be the same because when the citizens get super angry and then super organized, guess who they blame? The people in power that are pilfering the treasury. Japan, princes of the yen, The internet, it sure does make it hard to govern people. Why? Because people share knowledge. Why? Because the internet is decentralized. Programming people was much easier to do when there are only 3 TV news channels in the United States of America. I don't know where you're watching this from, but the media is controlled, ubiquitously controlled. Now that the internet on, it's the wild, wild west. The only countermeasure for, hey, there's all this truths that are flowing, the only countermeasure is operating a psychological operation where everything is a conspiracy theory. So that way you get hardened to hear the conspiracy theorems, hard M at the end of theorem. Theory moves into a theorem when you get sold a rabbit hole to go down. I say get sold because they're ripping attention for you to understand their theorem. Where conspiracy theory was a countermeasure actually also used by the CIA for first time use of a conspiracy theory was the CIA not counter arguing a truth. They heard the truth, CIA was doing something bad, and instead of saying, "What? That's totally inaccurate," they said, "Oh, that's just a conspiracy theory." And that's why in 2020, every conspiracy theory that was cooked up on Twitter right before Elon Musk bought it and right after he bought it, pretty much every conspiracy theory got proven true. This is because Twitter became uncensored and free flowing exchange of ideas. And that's 3 years before I came up with the concept for Web 12. So all Web 12 is if you had a Chinese best friend and if he were hyper honest with you, what would he say? That's what Web 12 is, which is, Larry, I'm thinking about quitting work and going back to school. Web 12, what should I do? And then Web 12 would come back and say, school for what? And then you'd say, oh, school for a master's in business administration. And then the AI would say, well, let me get this straight. You went to Stanford, you studied engineering, and now you're going to go to ASU for an MBA. Are you high? No, I'm not high. I just kind of want to go get the experience. Cool. What 3 classes would you want to take at ASU for the Karsten School of Business? Or you'd say, hey, I want to go to ASU because I want to hang out with hot blondes that are going to be blonde billionaires like Shelby Sapp. And then the AI Web 12 would be like, this is her email. She lives in Miami. Why don't you cold open Yahtzee? Cold open Yahtzee. Cold open Yahtzee. It's a cute little fish. His name is Hecklefish. He is an unpaid guest. Would you like to be an unpaid guest on my show? That'd be amazing. Sunday Fun Day, turning around a garbage can. Oh my God, this is going to take 30 minutes. You see, the way to turn around a garbage can is you're going to need to bring paint that is the color of the garbage can. Oh, wait, Larry, Waste Management, it does not allow for you to paint their garbage can. Yeah, that's why graffiti the garbage can. We're going to have to graffiti the garbage can, the original color of the garbage can. Do you like how graffiti artist this is? Where, hey, If you're not going to arrest people that are graffitiing the garbage can, don't arrest me for painting the garbage can waste management green. Ditto University of Chicago maroon for Rots Disposal. It's a garbage can company. Their garbage cans were maroon. University of Chicago colors. Sunday fun day, turning around your mental bank. Ooh, this is a good one. So you're mentally able to bank only a certain amount of new information. What have you recently deposited? That's where hashtags come into play. Visualization. You'll love this. You'll love this. I'm talking to a technology tech founder, and they have a check for $15 million. And he goes, hey, Larry, I wrote this check to myself. I'm visualizing $15 million. Cool. We talk, we hang out. They're good. So later, maybe an hour and a half or 2.5 hours into the relationship, because it's a 4-hour event, I say to him, hey, I know that you've got a check for millions and millions of dollars. Let me ask you this. If I help you get there in 1 year from today, would you write me a check for $1 million? Would you? We're talking about visualization. So this same exercise was done by Jim Carrey, who wanted to write to himself 9 million or 11 million when he was really struggling. So that way he would look at his check and say, what can I do today that's small, that inches me forward to get closer to that financial goal? So question, what would you do? What are you guys, multitasking? This is the question. $15 million in the future, would you write $1 million for Larry Chang? Oh, good job. Hashtag ENGR145. Effort in, result out. Could you repeat that? Correct. Here's a question. You wrote a check to yourself for $15 million because you're trying to visualize it. Now you are asked this question, which is, hey, I'm going to get you there in a year. Are you willing to write me a check for $1 million? So it turns out it doesn't matter because all you're doing is paying 1 for the 15, where you're not trying to be macro, big picture. Oh, is it worth 1 on the 15? Because keeping 14 is a ton of money. Does that make sense? No, you're not doing risk management. It's just arithmetic, which is why wouldn't you buy a $15 bill for $1? No, but like it's that straightforward of math. Mansplain Web 12 to me like I'm a girl boss. Mansplain Web 12 is 25, who's a virgin at business. You there. Are you a virgin at business? Doing something different because I got the feedback that I was not looking for. The feedback that I got was, Larry, explain what Web 12 and AI is. It's a free vacation that is a AI return on investment before you spend money. Earlier, I did a Q&A with a viewer, long-time viewer, first-time Q&A. The conclusion that we came to was inconclusive, so we shall conclude them with a monologue, which is mansplain AI to me like I have a sugar daddy. Explain to me Web 12 how to get a free vacation. 5 sentences, let's go. We set an intention, one vacation. We're not getting every vacation for free everywhere. That's your brain attention debt deficit disorder, ADDD. We're setting it to a poop hole called Omaha, Nebraska. The only thing good there is the College World Series, Creighton, a bunch of really good friends from Omaha, and the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. That's going to be May 1 to May 3rd. How's that going to be a free vacation? This is how. Layer 1 venture capital. Day 13, November 13, greetings, how are you? We're doing the simplest thing of connecting November 13 to May 1st. Why? Because we're mansplaining in the simplest way, hey, how do I get this concept of AI to yield something before the end of this video, which is, can you map out how today, September 13, connects to May 1? What's your goal? Your goal is to use AI for a positive money in outcome. What is your goal? Your goal is to not juxtapose money out with money in, because I did a Q&A earlier, which was, hey, it doesn't take money to make money. And then contorted
that mean you're going to borrow credit? No. It means it does not take money to make money. It doesn't mean borrowing other people's money to then be money positive. This is a video that's deliciously tasty as an appetizer that goes into a taboo topic. You don't need to expose being incorrect. You don't need to delve into, oh, are we going to be making a ginormous oopsie? How's my sound? How's my sound with my new microphone? Feedback? Thoughts? Sound check. Pushing ahead with a plan B. How's my sound? How's my sound? Mansplaining with how to get return on investment from a AI that functions as what? That functions as a tool that helps us self-fund a vacation. Connecting September 13th to May 1st through May 3rd, this is how we're going to plot forward. We're going to realize that most people have not planned that far ahead. And because that planning ahead doesn't occur, we're going to financially benefit from preparing before other people do. That's this exercise, where we're not going to lose focus of the connected dates, May 1 through May 3rd of 2026. You see, what we're doing here are the fortune cookie sized messages for what? For connecting where we are to where we want to go. The exercise is mansplaining Web 12. It's explain to me how to use AI to get a free vacation as if I'm 12 years old, as if I've never seen one video. It's not where we're judging AI to be the crap that we thought was going to be amazing, but then we said, I'm getting demoralized. This is getting to first base. This is getting to test out our new microphone. Will you guys tell me if the sound is good? I got a new microphone. Was it better before, or is this better? How is the sound? I love it. All robots, all the time. Let's go. Since the sound check went fabulously well, we can redo a sound check. Will you tell me how the sound? Will you tell me how the sound is? Is it good? Is it bad? Robots unite, mansplaining how we capture specific value within AI, commanding it with one purpose, a free vacation to Omaha, Nebraska. Let's bullet point 3 hashtags that we're going to need to map our financial outcome. This is what we're mapping towards. How's this sound? How's this sound? Does this sound better than when I was raw dogging? Does this sound better? How's the sound for this new rainbow microphone that's cutting in and out? Now we're back. How is the microphone? Is it good? It's worse now? Okay, no microphone. Rainbow microphone. Rainbow microphone. How's the sound now? Worse? It's really good now. I almost want to say thank you for the new microphone. What? Is it like hit or miss? We're pressing ahead. We're pressing ahead. We're pressing ahead as if it's a good microphone. So explain to me Web 12 as if we did a Q&A with now a additional focus of attention to detail without the distractions that come from being distracted, which is May 1 through May 6. What we're doing by using AI is we're DJing together APIs. We're connecting application protocol interfaces by using AI. So I know I keep saying mapping, but to me, people are trying to map it in their head like the Q&A example that I used. That was the Q&A that really took place, where the conditions were not conducive to taking paper notes. The camera was off. Some of us were late attending the impromptu call that was booked 20 minutes prior. How can you be late, 15 minutes late, when we agreed to something 20 minutes ago? That's the difficulty of booking something 20 minutes in the future on September 13th. What we are now aspiring to do, which is explain how to get a free vacation using AI to go to Omaha, Nebraska for Berkshire Hathaway because someone likes trading, someone likes the casino, someone likes the concept of using AI. This is Web 12, which is, can 5 to 50 web pages fund your free vacation? That's a question. Can 5 to 50 web pages fund your free vacation? Not automatically, that's the answer. Now you're going to have to ask yourself, are you willing to put in work with a slide scale reward? And it turns out most people can't show up for a high ROI event, even knowing that the ROI is going to be incredibly high. What this is, psychologically, is willful retardation, willful misunderstanding, willful self-sabotage. Inherently, people do this when they're faced with a new habit. This is why we're inking, all of us, single-digit number of people, going to Omaha, Nebraska, May 1 to May 3rd. Why? Because this is a mental exercise of if we don't make $500, we're not going to Omaha, Nebraska. That's going to cost $495. So we're connecting November 13th with a pit stop in the middle. The pit stop in the middle is February 3 through February 7. And this video is not super exciting. It's not chock full of jokes. But then again, I'm mansplaining the most basic shiitake to a person that should have already gotten $800 worth of benefits, which is why I'm going to ask you, today is day 13 of what? Today is day 13 of what? What hashtag? Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. What we're having a good time doing is organizing a Web 12, basically launch party. What is this video? This video is going to be lighthearted in the aspirational OMG, is this really going on? Which is, where do you want to go on vacation for free? Now, this is what I ask women who want me to sugar daddy. If daddy were to take you somewhere that's ostentatious, opulent, and luxurious, where would you want sugar daddy to take you? The answer would be Lollapalooza. The answer would be EDC in Orlando. The answer would be, if she's going to be Mrs. Chang, Omaha, Nebraska for Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholders meeting. What we're going to do is ask, I enjoy the text and electronic components of the follow-up. Good job following up. But I'm also going to ask, where is your map? And show me your notebook. Because you can't mentally remember a Dungeons and Dragons map, which is what we're doing by doing what? We're using AI to do a treasure map, and this is where we plaster one wall. You know those serial killer movies where the serial killer has a command center set up, and the law enforcement officials, they don't find the serial killer yet, but they find an orgasm of evidence on a wall. There's yarn connecting crimes. There's just a tidal wave of evidence, and it's sometimes in the basement, or sometimes it looks like a serial killer documenting 50 kills. That's what we want to have on our wall, documenting our treasure map. Where you think the wall behind me is clutter, it's a treasure map. Where you think that junk is trash, when in fact it's treasure. That's what we're doing with Web 12, is we're turning around things the way a turnaround specialist would do turnarounds if they were to do 50 turnarounds in a month versus one turnaround every other year. That means in 10 years, 4 or maybe at most 5 turnarounds. people think that Berkshire Hathaway is going to do when Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger leave. They think it's going to die. That's why you can turn around bankrupt stuff. You can turn around stuff that was never alive. You can turn around a multi-billion-dollar company the way I turned around Uber. What a turnaround is the most feminine and masculine thing you can do, which is make something better by fucking with it. Make something better by making it fucking better. Whereas default within YouTube, default within human nature, trying to rip each other down. I happen to love to be ripped down. That builds me up. That's why I'm not messed up, but that's why I'm built the way that I am. So what we're doing is we're building each other's practice, not forcing ourselves to be a perfection. What practice are we doing? We're practicing on a cadaver. That's part one. Part two, you guys attended earlier today. What was the conclusion of it? It was to realize that you don't want to start a startup. You don't want to start a baby business from scratch. You want to simply DJ something that exists. DJ like disc jockey. You want to wrangle something that exists, such as the physics notes, such as the story I told about the professor who rigged the system of 8 quizzes per week to stack the odds against student success. I solved that problem. So what you're doing with practicing on a cadaver, part 1 of 2, which is what this video is you're using Web 12, which is Web 1, Web 2, and Web 12. It's Web 5, it's more Web 5, it's Web 2, which is using social media to sell, but not the way that Web 2 social media to sell. We're selling something that's only for the richest of the rich people. Why? Because the Kenelon effect is Web 4. The Kenelon effect is Web 4 fiat striking back. The Web 4 3x component to get to 3x4 equals 12 is helping the people that are standing closest to the money printer. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, they may have left the company, but what page 132 talks about is how to get into Colombia without having to pay money to apply to Colombia. Because the same way that Warren Buffett got into Colombia was the same way that I, Larry Chang, got into Stanford Business School by writing a letter to Irv Grosbeck. And this is where I would hold up the I'll do it now. $3, Peters, $3. This book costs $3. Each house has a textbook that is exactly this book. $3. This is the 6th edition. It does not have chapter 17. That's the 6th edition. It does not have Irv Grosbeck. Do you like how I started with part 2 first? So that way people's like, oh, where's part 1? Where's part 1? We're doing part 1 right now. doing part one right now. Question: are you experienced in utility design, patent, plant patent for a product? What's plant patent for a product? Did you just put those words together? Are you a robot? Are you a robot? I've never seen you before. Are you a robot? Web 12. Web 12 in and of itself is also a turnaround. Do you see how if you don't map this out, you're going to get mentally confused because it's a Jedi, dare I say, Jewish business administration where while we're doing a turnaround of Berkshire Hathaway, we're using Web 2, Web 1, Web 5 in a Web 12 type of way. Because now we're connecting November 13 to May 1 through May 3rd. Where's the money coming from? The money is slow trickling from web pages where you say, would you like to buy part 2, practicing on a cadaver, period, the new methodology for entrepreneurship education at 4-year schools? $800, please. You see, when you conjure that up, you're hammering a problem. That problem that you're hammering the problem of, are you trying to do something brand new and completely confusing and new? LOL, no. It's the 3 types of patent types that showed up when I searched what they are called. Is this in relation to your thought in starting a business, or are you just robotically grinding through and not listening at all to what I'm talking about? I'm not going to time you out. I should time you out. I'm torn. I'm trying to be accommodating. But it feels like you're robotic. You know what? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Web 12 is not using social media to sell something. Web 12 is not, see, that's Web 2. And this is why it's so painful, because what you're saying is not correct. And this is why you're in the 4 years shy of a 4-year degree with 4 people in the room and 4 likes. Who's watching right now? If you already liked it, hit like again, so that way I can tell that you're at least hearing what I'm saying and then getting better. The most obvious thing is that details matter. That's the most obvious thing. Because when you see that we're double liking, that's just like unliking. And what you're doing is you're powering it forward while focusing on the one thing. So conjure back into that triple like as you triple focus with energy, directed energy, detail-minded. Jim Quick, KWIK, with part focusing on a dead book. That dead book is limitless. Remember, before I got into turnarounds and changed how turnarounds are done by being arguably the best student that Bird Prospect has ever had, look on the Duck 9 homepage. Paul Thompson, David Rorsheim, billionaire, billionaire, billionaire. Why? Paul Thompson, he navigates South by Southwest like he's a slalom skier. He took Strategic Management 353 at Harvard, Section M. David Rorsheim did GSB, Stanford Business School, Graduate School of Business. David Rorsheim became $1 billion billionaire because he turned around Uber by managing the continent of Australia. If you don't text me a picture of your map, all of this, part one, is just going to benefit some smart girl who's come across my content and then says, OMG, sugar daddy is making me go bankrupt, LOL, I'm going to send you a gift card. First person to put the correct hashtag for what we're doing right now gets to give me a $6.767 gift card. First person, what are we doing right now as a hashtag? Because remember, a hashtag is a compression algorithm where we load, explode. I know that your vertical is 1/10 my vertical, but that's what you do to get a higher vertical, is you load. And you do everything exercise-wise to work your fast twitch muscles. So, fast twitch your fingers, since you guys seem to love smartphones so much. Fast twitch your fingers to tell me, what hashtag are we talking about right now? So we're talking about two of them. We're talking about two of them because also the good news for Web 12 is we're going to quickly move to Web 123 on November 13th. What hashtags are we doing right now, you guys? And if you're new here, don't feel peer pressure to just listen and ask questions mentally, quietly. You guys, Duck D's, I mean, you guys are moderators. That's embarrassing. What are the hashtags that we're doing right now? New people. A hashtag is a compressed algorithm that explodes a little bit of money in your bank account in May. Problem, Larry, I need rent money now. That's your problem. You would have gotten this money had you started 2 years ago, which is when Bullet Traders. I remember you. You're from Clubhouse, dude. You're from Clubhouse that then went with me from Clubhouse over to Spaces. Yup. Hashtag 26 days of Rock 4 ducking BK. Good job. Duck D's, say hi if you're still here, or just comment still here. We're also doing hashtag Web 12. And the inside is we're doing Web 123. I hate even saying this is a joke, but my brain is getting unhappy that I have to talk about Web 2 as if I'm mansplaining it. You see, that phrase, mansplaining, it's meant to keep women suppressed in economic earning because the world got super complicated. Making money got easy for people who are detail-minded. And what we're penalized for is explaining to the minutia detail. But then you look at men earning power versus women, it used to be, 5, 10, 15% different. Now men are like, fuck you, I'm not going to work at your woke company with some letter of the alphabet flag that you're flying. Now men are black pill MGTOW, men going their own way. Now men are saying, look, I'll pay for my own health benefits. I'm going to be a corporation by myself. When you say mapping, what are you referring to? Mapping a business plan? That's a question, all right. I can tell that your map is not connecting this question, which is, what are the dates of Berkshire Hathaway, bullet trader, trading guru, trade, casino is open? When is Berkshire Hathaway? What dates? So you're mapping that date because you don't know that date because it's not on your map. Think of a map as future dates, future places, future times. How am I going to get to $600,000? Well, there you go. It's going to have a quick stop over at February 3 to February 7. Pick a number between 3 and 7. Like the number of people in this room, which is 3, like the number of likes, which is 7. Pick a number between February 3 and 7. Pick a number. This is your map that I'm talking you through, that I'm mansplaining you through. Let's say you picked 6. That would be Wednesday, February 6th. So you're connecting November 13, February 6th, May 1 through 3rd. Yeah, too late. You already picked 6. Now, you'll go 5. So, what you're doing is you're coming up with 15 web pages of content ASAP. You're still at 0, ditto, 0. What you're doing, instead of staying at 0, is you now are going to have 50 web pages about May 1 to May 3rd. That would be Cadaver Turnaround Part 2. That would be Cadaver Turnaround Part 1. Why? The entire glum of society is going to be searching for, where do I shove this pile of money that will get me a return? In trading parlance, it's called seeking alpha. So, seeking alpha, what I learned from Larry Chang, I would like a free vacation. Seeking alpha, turnarounds, Irv Grosbeck, 20 sentences generated, boom, that's another web page. Now what you're doing with your map is you're mapping out all these web pages. The people that I talk to, the web pages that get produced, we're going to be producing 95% of YouTube's web pages generated from a video. Let me repeat that. YouTube, it's robots, true story, it's AI robots talking to robots that are throwing out fake comments just to gamify likes and subscribes. This is not my theory. This is called dead internet theory. What are we doing? We're humans ordering a robot. Hey robot, AI, hey Grok 4. This guy, Larry Chang, summarized his 3 hours on August 8th. Summarize his August 8th Psycho Saturday video. Summarize that for me. you see how you're now understanding why an NFL quarterback gets paid $30 million? It isn't to throw a football 60 yards. Any Yahoo can do that. I could do that. But what I can't do is I can't memorize something that happened on March 22nd. I can't memorize something that happened on August 8th. I meet people who barely know what today is, which is November 13th. Barely. Let alone being able to connect it to February 5th, Tuesday, let alone connecting that to May 1 to May 3rd. During your timeout, come back better. But when you combine all those dates together, now you're play call playing money, which is, why are you doing this genius thing on February 5th? Oh, well, because November 13th and because February 1 to February 3rd. And people will be like, what? And you'll be like, oh, sorry, that was compressed. Expanded, what I'm doing is I'm here on Omaha on a self-funded business trip where I used AI to answer this question. Why doesn't Creighton University teach practicing startup entrepreneurship on a business cadaver? Oh, interesting. My kid goes to Creighton. You see how that's what you're doing to get rich people to throw money at you? Because I don't know if you remember this, it was way back. But I was like, hey, poor person, do you wanna jump on a call and we'll record it? Poor person was like, or rich person was like, oh yeah, we'll do that. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, yo, this is gonna take place in 15 minutes. You okay? Yeah. Then 5 minutes before the call's supposed to start, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this in 5 minutes. Okay? Yeah, I'll be ready. In order for the call to actually take place, I needed to call them twice. I had to send 4 text messages, and then I started the dialogue as a monologue. That's what it takes to Australian Shepherd sheep. Why do I use Australian Shepherd? Because our family has 4 of them: Max, Bear, Amelie, Ginger. These dogs are smart, but these dogs, they'll disrespect you if you are a shitty human or a bad pack leader. What do these dogs do? They literally protect the herd. What am I doing with this video? I'm using it with the starfish motif of, are you going to be a starfish washed upon the beach, baking in the sun? Or are you going to be saved when our little merry band of Web 12, dare I say, Web 123 executors write up a web page that saves 2 starfish? Remember, these web pages are barely going to be viewed, but at least now you got a shot. And you benefited from understanding, hey, these web pages make us realize that quantity have a quality all its own. Look at how much effort I put into videos with a single digit number of views, with a single digit number of likes, with a single digit number of subscribers. This channel feels like it's a mega channel as far as expertise goes. But why is the skew in asymmetry? It's because it demands accountability. I require a map. I force feed a mansplain. It's really not mansplaining as much as it is a wealthy person executing details. Like I'm Matt Smith, co-founder of Fundayyyy. That's end part one, cadaver, which is let's practice on something that is wholly unrelated to what we're doing. What's totally not related? Turning around a plumbing business. What's totally non sequitur? That would be turning around Web 2 and Web 2 Summit. What's completely outside of the realm of normal shit? That would be NAVC, National Association of Venture Capitalists, where venture capital, it's hemorrhaging right now. Can you turn around an entire industry of Harvard, Stanford douchebags with your academic self where you're 3 years away from a 4-year degree? Turns out, scarily enough, the answer is you can make it better. You can become a turnaround person. How? By one, playlists. I haven't spent very much time talking about playlists. It's curation of existing videos. Why is it that I can take a video that lasts less than 60 minutes and say this is going to pay you 2x 60 minutes? It's because, let's say you have paid attention to a book that you own, but you have not yet distributed. You're taking things that are startup lessons learned and leveraging OPE, other people's experiences. You're leveraging OPV, which is other people's videos. You're leveraging OPPN, other people's physics notes. With that story about the professor whose son died, I often think back, if I just went in with a negative attitude and didn't even ask him about his son, would he have given me a 2-year monopoly on selling notes that turned me overnight into the biggest swinging dick, biggest man on campus? Because now I had a 2-year exclusive to help you not fail out. Are you going to pay me $95 per week over 16 weeks? You are, and it's going to be worth every penny. Because now you're not going to fail out of any engineering major because Physics 107 is designed to fail you out. Maybe you've never solved a problem before. Maybe you are soft AF and just when you see people getting screwed, you're like, what can you do? And I'm not saying help everybody always all the time, but I am saying help rich people get richer. Because earlier in the Q&A, you saw a rich person talking to a richer person. Who got smarter after that conversation? Who took more notes? Who loaded and exploded? Where first we did part 2, then we did Q&A. This is part 1. Did you see the genius in calling the first video part 2? So that way people will be like, oh, did I miss something? And then this is mansplaining the part 1 part, which is, what is Dump 9? It's avoiding Chapter 9 bankruptcy. What's Chapter 9 bankruptcy? It's business bankruptcy. It's startup bankruptcy. There are critics that say that my book does not exist. You can turn around what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. You can turn around what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, which I did. Think about that. using Mark McCormack's methodologies to sell a book that I did not write. I didn't write what they don't teach in Harvard Business School. And then the New York Times, they got it mixed up because Harvard, Stanford, it's to some people the same school. That's why my book made it to the New York Times bestseller list, because Harvard, Stanford, it's the same thing. Launching the book on 09/09/09 was incredibly street smart. That's what we're doing here. Is it wasn't a thought that I had on September 1, 09/01/09. I wanted to do 09/09/09 back in 07. So that's the three dates combining. And then because Veterans Day is 11/11, ditto Wish Day, I also thought I'm going to do November 11, 2011. And I use a relationship at ESPN and say, look, we can promote ESPN at spring break. I can help you with these things. Can I be interviewed on ESPN on Make-A-Wish Day, which is let's reverse engineer ourselves back before when we didn't have AI. Let's say your wish is to go on a free vacation. Okay, this is how to do it. So I've been doing this free vacation ROI for South by before South by, way before AI even was a thing. Now that AI is a thing, it's even easier. That's why Web 12 is Web 1, Web 2, because you don't even need AI. Now that you have AI, it's 10 times easier. Because it got 10 times easier, people got 50 times lazier and 100 times dumber. You're welcome. First person to text message me, thank you, after this video ends, gets to give me a gift card for $47 to Starbucks. That was a good video. I'm getting much less homosexual spam. Where initially when I was doing YouTube Lives, it was all gay spam all the time. And the numbers for viewership are a little bit lower, but not having to constantly blah blah blah, it's amazing. Mansplain Web 12 to me like I'm a girl boss. Mansplain Web 12 as if I'm 25, who's a virgin at business. You there. Are you a virgin at business? We're doing something different because I got the feedback that I was not looking for. The feedback that I got was, Larry, explain what Web 12 and AI is. It's a free vacation that is a vacation that is a AI return on investment before you spend money. Earlier, I did a Q&A with a viewer, long-time viewer, first-time Q&A. The conclusion that we came to was inconclusive, so we shall conclude them with a monologue, which is mansplain AI to me like I how to get a free vacation. 5 sentences, let's go. We set an intention, one vacation. We're not getting every vacation for free everywhere. That's your brain attention deficit disorder, ADDD. We're setting it to a poop hole called Omaha, Nebraska. The only thing good there is the College World Series, Creighton, a bunch of really good friends from Omaha, and the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. That's going to be May 1 to May 3rd. How's that going to be a free vacation? This is how. Layer 1 venture capital. Day 13, November 13, greetings, how are you? We're doing the simplest thing of connecting November 13 to May 1st. Why? Because we're mansplaining in the simplest way, hey, how do I get this concept of AI to yield something before the end of this video? Which is, can you map out how today, September 13, connects to May 1? What's your goal? Your goal is to use AI for a positive money in outcome. What is your goal? Your goal is to not juxtapose money out with money in, because I did a Q&A earlier, which was, hey, it doesn't take money to make money. And then contorted to think, does that mean you're going to borrow credit? No, it means it does not take money to make money. It doesn't mean borrowing other people's money to then be money positive. This is a video that's deliciously tasty as an appetizer that goes into a taboo topic. You don't need to expose being incorrect. You don't need to delve into, oh, are we going to be making a ginormous oopsie? How's my sound? How's my sound with my new microphone? Feedback? Thoughts? Sound check. Pushing ahead with a plan B. How's my sound? How's my sound? Mansplaining with how to get return on investment from a AI that functions as what? That functions as a tool that helps us self-fund a vacation. Connecting September 13 to May 1st through May 3rd, this is how we're going to plot forward. We're going to realize that most people have not planned that far ahead. And because that planning ahead doesn't occur, we're going to financially benefit from preparing before other people do. That's this exercise, where we're not going to lose focus of the connected dates, May 1 through May 3rd of 2026. You see, what we're doing here are the fortune cookie sized messages for what? For connecting where we are to where we want to go. The exercise is mansplaining Web 12. It's explain to me how to use AI to get a free vacation as if I'm 12 years old if I've never seen one video. It's not where we're judging AI to be the crap that we thought was going to be amazing, but then we said, I'm getting demoralized. This is getting to first base. This is getting to test out our new microphone. Will you guys tell me if the sound is good? We got a new microphone. Was it better before, or is this better? How is the sound? I love it. All robots, all the time. Let's go. Since the sound check went fabulously well, we can redo a sound check. Will you tell me how the sound? Will you tell me how the sound is? Is it good? Is it bad? Robots unite, mansplaining how we capture specific value within AI, commanding it with one purpose, a free vacation to Omaha, Nebraska. Let's bullet point 3 hashtags that we're going to need to map our financial outcome. This is what we're mapping towards. How's the sound? How's the sound? Does this sound better than when I was raw dogging? Does this sound better? How's the sound for this new rainbow microphone that's cutting in and out? Now we're back. How is the microphone? Is it good? It's worse now? Okay, no microphone. Rainbow microphone. Rainbow microphone. How's the sound now? Worse? It's really good now. I almost want to say thank you for the new microphone. What? Is it like hit or miss? We're pressing ahead. We're pressing ahead. We're pressing ahead as if it's a good microphone. So explain to me Web 12 as if we did a Q&A with now a additional focus of attention to detail without the distractions that come from being distracted, which is May 1 through May 6. What we're doing by using AI is we're DJing together APIs. We're connecting application protocol interfaces by using AI. So I know I keep saying mapping, but to me, people are trying to map it in their head like the Q&A example that I used. That was the the Q&A that really took place, where the conditions were not conducive to taking paper notes. The camera was off. Some of us were late attending the impromptu call that was booked 20 minutes prior. How can you be late, 15 minutes late, when we agreed to something 20 minutes ago? That's the difficulty of booking something 20 minutes in the future on September 13th. What we are now aspiring to do, which is explain how to get a free vacation using AI to go to Omaha, Nebraska for Berkshire Hathaway because someone likes trading, someone likes the casino, someone likes the concept of using AI. This is Web 12, which is, can 5 to 50 web pages fund your free vacation? That's a question. Can 5 to 50 web pages fund your free vacation? Not automatically, that's the answer. Now you're going to have to ask yourself, are you willing to put in work with a slide scale reward? And it turns out most people can't show up for a high ROI event, even knowing that the ROI is going to be incredibly high. What this is, psychologically, is willful retardation, willful misunderstanding, willful self-sabotage. Inherently, people do this when they're faced with a new habit. This is why we're inking, all of us, single-digit number of people, going to Omaha, Nebraska, May 1 to May 3rd. Why? Because this is a mental exercise of, if we don't make $500, we're not going to Omaha, Nebraska. That's going to cost $495. So we're connecting November 13th with a pit stop in the middle. The pit stop in the middle is February 3 through February 7. And this video is not super exciting. It's not chock full of jokes. But then again, I'm mansplaining the most basic shiitake to a person that should have already gotten $800 worth of benefits, which is why I'm going to ask you, today is day 13 of what? Today is day 13 of what? What hashtag? Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. What we're having a good time doing is organizing a Web 12, basically launch party. What is this video? This video is going to be lighthearted in the aspirational OMG, is this really going on? Which is, where do you want to go on vacation for free? Now, this is what I ask women who want me to sugar daddy. If daddy were to take you somewhere that's ostentatious, opulent, and luxurious, where would you want sugar daddy to take you? The answer would be Lollapalooza. The answer would be EDC in Orlando. The answer would be, if she's going to be Mrs. Chang,